It began with a letter that wasn't meant to be found. Not by Ethan Walker, not tonight, but fate has a strange way of uncovering what time tries to bury. Under the cold silver moon, a forgotten photograph slipped from the shadows, landing at Ethan's feet. Two children smiling under a sky now lost to memory. On the back, only 6 haunting words were written. Find me where our story began. Somewhere between memory and mystery, love and betrayal, Ethan would learn. Not every lost soul wants to be found, and not every truth is ready to be told. Ethan Walker had always believed in quiet lives and quieter regrets. Silverwood, the small coastal town he called home, had a way of swallowing stories whole, letting the tides erase what hearts could not. For 5 years, Ethan carried the weight of a single, unfinished story. Her name was Amelia Brooks, his best friend, his almost, his never quite. They had grown up side by side, building castles in the sand and chasing starlight through endless summers. But one night, she was gone. No warning, no goodbye, just an empty house and whispers that the Brooks family had left in a hurry. Silverwood didn't ask questions. Silverwood never did, and neither did Ethan. Until now. The photograph wasn't the only thing he received that night. There was also a map of Silverwood with 3 red crosses drawn in shaky ink, each marking a memory, each holding a piece of the truth Ethan thought was long buried. And there was one more thing, a single, chilling sentence typed across the bottom of the map. Only you can uncover what was left behind. Some memories wait patiently, some set traps. Ethan tucked the map into his jacket and stepped into the cold night, unaware that eyes hidden behind windows and shadows had already taken notice. The first red cross led him to the old lighthouse. It stood crooked against the sky, forgotten and broken, much like the promises they had made there as children. Inside, he found a rusted tin box wedged between the stones. Inside the box was a bracelet. Tiny charms dangled from its chain, one for every summer they'd spent together. And wrapped inside the bracelet, a small, ancient key tied in a blue ribbon. Taped to the bottom of the tin was a scrap of paper that read, "Memory is the door. Love is the key." Ethan's heart pounded. This was no game. Amelia had left him a path to follow, and she had trusted only him to walk it. The second red cross pulled him deeper into the skeleton of Silverwood, the old amusement park at the town's edge. The carousel stood still, its paint peeling, its mirrors cracked. The horses hung suspended in frozen joy, their eyes glassy and empty. There, in the mouth of a wooden lion, Ethan found a journal, faded, water-stained. Inside, he found Amelia's handwriting, still familiar after all these years. "If you remember the way, find me where the ocean meets the forest." A wave of guilt nearly crushed him. Because Ethan remembered. He remembered everything. The night Amelia disappeared, she had asked him to meet her at their secret place. Whispering Cove, the hidden pocket of beach and woods only they knew. He was supposed to be there. He had promised, but he never showed. Fear, pride, uncertainty. They all held him back, and she vanished. He never forgave himself. Now, the map urged him onward. The final cross led him to the edge of town, where the forest met the roaring sea. Whispering Cove. Moonlight bathed the cove in silver, painting every stone, every leaf, every memory in shades of longing. Under the ancient oak tree, where their initials were carved, Ethan found something strange. A small wooden door built into the earth, hidden by roots and moss. Hands trembling, he pulled out the key. It fit. Inside the hidden space, 1,000 tiny fairy lights glowed like captured stars. Old photographs lined the walls, memories of their childhood, frozen in time. Paper boats, broken kites, summer dresses, handwritten notes, their whole world locked away and preserved. And standing there, illuminated by the soft glow, was Amelia. Alive, changed, but unmistakably her. She didn't run, she didn't speak. She just smiled, the saddest smile Ethan had ever seen, and held out her hand. He took it without hesitation. The truth poured out in pieces. Amelia hadn't just disappeared. She had been hidden, protected. The Brooks family had uncovered something terrible, a network of corruption that ran through Silverwood's blood. Its council, its police, its so-called protectors. They tried to silence the Brooks family. They nearly succeeded, but Amelia escaped. With the help of people who believed in her cause, she had been gathering evidence for 5 years, waiting for the right moment to return. And she had waited for him because she trusted him, even when he had failed her. Now, they had one chance to expose the truth and free Silverwood from its own darkness. But it would come at a cost. Love demands courage, and sometimes it demands sacrifice. Together, Ethan and Amelia hatched a plan. A final broadcast from the lighthouse. A signal sent across Silverwood's airwaves, revealing everything the town had tried to forget. Every secret, every lie, every buried truth. They worked through the night, hearts racing, hands steady. As the first light of dawn kissed the horizon, they sent the signal. All across Silverwood, radios crackled awake, televisions flickered on, phones buzzed with messages. The truth spilled out, unstoppable. Justice began its slow, painful march. As sirens wailed in the distance, Amelia and Ethan stood once more at the edge of the world, where the forest kissed the ocean. They had no promises left to break, no secrets left to hide, only each other. And maybe, after all the storms, that was enough. Some stories don't end with goodbyes. Some stories end with two souls standing together beneath the sky too wide to understand, under a moon that watched them find each other again. Ethan reached into his jacket and pulled out the old photograph, the one that started it all. He tucked it into the crook of the oak tree, letting it live there like a promise. The wind picked up, carrying the scent of salt and possibility. Amelia smiled. He smiled back. And without a word, they stepped forward into the future. Together. Moonlight secrets. Some love stories are never lost. They are just waiting to be found.